Hey dudes, what's up? It's me, OK Kyle, your favorite Tormund Giantsbane impersonator, and home to the best beard on the entire internet. I want to ask you a question before we start. What's the difference between David Dobrik and a beached whale? When a beached whale lies in front of people, they feel empathy for it, they pity it, they want to help it out, and when it's dead and washed ashore, blowing it up is a viable option. That's something that can't be said about David Dobrik.
It had to be said, the Oregon State Highway Division not only had a whale of a problem on its hands, it had a stinking whale of a problem.
Now that I think about it, when I say that out loud, suddenly I'm the asshole in the room. I'm adding that to the list of things you shouldn't say out in public. Hey, do you maybe want to go watch people blow up a whale today? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you even suggest that? Because I thought it would be fun and romantic for a first date? Don't ever call me again. Some time ago, David released another apology video, and I wanted to talk about it. I know what you're thinking. Another apology video? Yeah, though this time the context is less disturbing than the last time. Last time it was the sexual assault and underage drinking that occurred during the parties he threw at his LA frat house. It's not really an apology video, it's more about him not taking accountability or meaningfully addressing the situation by sidestepping everything. Trust me, I've watched it numerous times. And whenever he spoke, I heard nothing but flies buzzing in his mouth because it was nothing but bullshit. Constant bullshit. When he breathes, it smells like a freshly manured field drenched with a fine morning dew. It was more like 30-ish minutes of David trying really hard to convince the viewers that he's really sorry for almost killing his friend. And 20 minutes of him dicking around with quirky lesbian aunt who owns a bookstore in Quincy, Massachusetts, and generic 20-year-old white girl who bases her life decisions off of astrology. David taking accountability is a lot like my philosophy professor during my freshman year, finding a way to not pass everyone before finals. Everyone in his class was failing, and you'll never guess what he did next. His galaxy brain move was to go into remission and die of skin cancer a day later. In David's world, he's infallible. He didn't stab you. You eagerly ran into the knife, with arms wide open. David didn't rob a bank at gunpoint. He was just making an aggressive withdrawal from his bank account. He didn't shoot you. You just had a magnet in your back pocket. So for those of you who've been living under a rock like Patrick Starr, hi, hello, nice to meet you. 2 years ago, while filming one of his vlogs, David accidentally crushed his friend Jeff Wittick's face with an excavator, and he's remained silent for 2 years. And now David wants to clear the air. Give his version of what really happened. David telling the truth is a lot like Black History Month, sponsored by the KKK. Totally not biased in any way whatsoever. I'm inclined to believe everything he's about to say. For those of you who don't know, I have a PhD and a doctorate in internetology, a branch of medical study that focuses on infectious viral diseases that are transmittable through online influencers. Now, I'm a medical professional in the same way that David is a good friend and very sorry, or how people insist that pineapple deserves to go on pizza. To anyone who says this, line up against the wall and I'll get the execution started. I'm here to properly diagnose David because I believe he has what I call influenza. Influenza, a neurodegenerative disease that attacks brain cells, impairs judgment, increases ego, and gives a false sense of infallibility. It affects many social media influencers, turning them into pompous assholes with a superiority complex who think that their consequences have no action because they have privilege, power, and wealth. We're not going to sit here and watch the entire video because I cherish your intelligence and time, and I'm not going to fucking waste it. We're just going to watch some of my favorite parts to illustrate my point further. Now, let's diagnose why this video is just fucking awful. The first thing I noticed is the title, discussing what really happened. Really? Clickbait. Clickbaiting your supposed friend's horrific injury? What the fuck is wrong with David? That's like John Wilkes Booth making a vlog called Guess What I Just Did? After he killed Lincoln. David did it because he knew it would bring in views. Views equal money. Now, I understand you gotta do what you gotta do to make money on YouTube, but there's nothing more fucking egregious than using your friend's traumatic ordeal to fill the stadium. At least Hurricane Katrina filled the Superdome because she was a bitch when she destroyed New Orleans. What's David's excuse?
That is one big pile of shit.
In David's warped mind, Jeff still has some monetary value, even though they aren't friends because, you know, people have been fascinated by this incident for months, and by using such a vague title, it draws people in naturally. David's playing off their innate curiosity in order to get that one view. It seems like working for David is a lot like working for the WWE. You owe them your career, you don't get paid, you have to play a character. In Jeff's case, a criminal because you fuck up one time in your life, and it's an essential part of your identity. And when you hurt yourself, they say sayonara and throw your crippled ass in a dumpster because you can't provide for them anymore. David's friends are just props to use when filming. He doesn't see them as human beings. David's just another cruel Greek god asshole fucking their lives up and putting them in danger for shits and giggles. What would David's Greek god name be? Oh, I know. Ducius Maximus. In the video, David has this habit of trying to apologize, then he'll contradict himself a breath later by trying to shift the blame onto Jeff and everyone else involved in the video.
Because at the end of the day, I was the one fucking driving it. It was my video. I was the one sitting there. It's fucking clear as day. I am the one controlling the thing. He got hurt because I was driving. That's it. And I fucking know that. And like I said, any chance I would get, I would take that back. Any chance I would get. And that'll be the biggest regret of my life, my entire life. I really hope there's not a moment that I regret as much as that one. And back to the secret that he wanted me to keep. I was all hands on deck for that, but I feel like I can take, 80% of the responsibility, 90%, 100% of the responsibility for the accident, whatever he needs me to do. But that, then when it gets to the point where it started to feel like I was taking 150% of the responsibility, I started to see things like David fucking forced his friend up there, like all this kind of stuff, like that was just fucking insane. And it felt like people thought Lily sent him up there just so he can fucking swing off this thing.
Right.
Like that was not the case. And the more and more that happened, the more I was like, what is going on? Like this is not what happened. It was a combined decision we made, and it was a complete accident. And I'm so fucking sorry that accident happened, but it did, and there's no going back from that. Like there's nothing we can do. And yeah, I wish it was more like that. And then when it started to be like more 150% on me, I started to get, I don't know, I guess it just freaked me out more. I was just like, I don't know what's going on, I don't know.
After David's YouTube career ends, he should really consider becoming a politician because he's really, really good at deflecting fault onto everyone else except himself. I want you to listen to this part right here.
The day of whatever it was.
You never talked about the accident. You want to go through it?
Yeah, I mean, we were filming a video, my comeback video. I haven't posted in a while. We wanted to do something exciting, and there was this YouTuber that we were collaborating with for it that did these really cool, really cool visuals of people doing the coolest things. And one of them was people wakeboarding. I don't know what that's called, while holding on to an excavator. And that was one of 5 things we were gonna do. That was the first activity that we had planned to shoot. And yeah, the morning came where we were in Utah. We were filming it, and yeah, we were getting the shots wakeboarding, and then I remember Jeff came up to one of my buddies, one of our friends, I don't know why I said like that, and then later to me, and he was like, this is fucking boring as shit. What are we, preschoolers? Let's do something cool.
Listen to what David said. He's implying that everything was Jeff's idea. Jeff wanted to make it bigger and better, not this pussy shit they were doing beforehand, whatever the fuck that was.
I remember too, right before we had gotten to Utah, Jeff, Todd, and I were all getting skydive certified, so we were we had all done 20 jumps out of an airplane, we were high on life.
When Jeff gets high on life, you can't stop him. You can't reason with crazy Jeff when the adrenaline's pumping. David gets Jeff really drunk and hopped up on horse tranquilizer and says jump. Jeff's already at the airport with a parachute ready to go.
Before there was this pressure to perform. So there was and not, I don't know, I'm 50-50 on it because it's on one side, that's how things are made that are great. Everybody wants to contribute, everybody wants to make it bigger, everybody wants to make it better. That's how great things are made. Is people have a motive and people have a desire to make something amazing. I think that's what helped with my videos is each and every one of my friends wanted to contribute. And the reason they were so good is because all my friends helped me with the videos. And yeah, so on one side, I think that's exactly how something great is done. But on the other side, I could see how that environment can get dangerous.
You can see how the environment can be dangerous? Really? Come on now.
Bitch, are you for real?
A bunch of insufferable YouTube vloggers operating heavy machinery without a safety crew and or someone to advise you guys on how not to act like stupid shit-slinging monkeys. What could possibly go wrong? And it only took you 2 years to come to that conclusion? I find that very fucking hard to believe. How does being a member of the Jackass crew feel safer by comparison? They're getting bit in the dick by snakes and being chased by fucking bulls and shit, but at least they have the foresight to have medics on standby just in case they get hurt. That thing about people wanting to make the best video possible? Yeah. No shit, Sherlock. Creatives always want to make the best. You know what else they also don't want to do? Risk grievous injury in the process. By this stupid fucking logic, That's like saying Brandon Lee was asking to get shot when they were shooting The Crow because he thought it would be more realistic. That's like saying if you're an actor and playing a serial killer, you need to go out and become one yourself. Obviously, that makes the most sense. It was because of David's negligence that Jeff almost fucking died. If me and David were playing tennis right now and he didn't hit the fucking ball, it's his fault, not anyone else's.
Did he forget what he did? Or did people forget? And it's like, fuck no. I will never forget. I will fucking never forget. I used to love
David, no one thinks you did it with malicious intent. Who films a video and is like, you know what's a good idea? Destroying my friend's fucking face. They just want you to ruminate and give a sincere apology. But instead, he looks like a youth pastor who sells ecstasy to children. Do you get it? Do you get how sincere he is? He's really sorry he almost killed his friend. Who is he trying to convince? His sycophantic audience? Fuck no. Is it for Jeff? No. Then who is it for?
This has been such a shitty situation, like from the moment it happened to the last couple months. And like I said, it's not a day that goes by I don't think about this, and I'm so sorry that this happened to you, Jeff. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And
also, can we stop calling this a shitty situation? Reckless endangerment isn't even remotely close. Here are just a few examples in case David forgot. Someone hacking your bank account. Yeah, I would classify that as a shitty situation. Waking up in a bathtub with a strange scar where your kidney once was. Absolutely. Having to explain that your brother died while trying to have sex with an orca at SeaWorld. That's just downright embarrassing. But it's still shitty. He tried so hard to put the cum in Tillicum, but drowned trying to get some of that precious wussy. Wussy. That's whale pussy in case you were asking.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
It's like David is treating this whole incident as a minor inconvenience in his career that he has to deal with so that he can move on quickly. To David, it's just normal behavior to constantly apologize for acting like the largest asshole in the known universe. But here's the thing. It shouldn't be the fucking default. It shouldn't be the norm. Can someone please explain this to me? Why the fuck apologizing for being the biggest piece of shit in the fucking universe? Why is that the fucking default on YouTube? But do you know who the real victim is? If you guess David, you're right, because of course it's fucking David.
I can be so much of a better person than I have been the last couple months, and that's just because I'm not myself at all. I mean, I'm like a fucking shell of David. That day is like the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And I would fucking do anything to take that day back. And that's part of the reason I want to do this is like, this weighs on me every fucking minute of every day. But like, it's like the worst.
Almost killing his friend weighs on him every day like chains, dragging him to the floor. No one is asking how David feels. Boo-hoo, baby boy. Then there's this weird bit about going longboarding.
And one day I went down this fucking steep hill and I ate fucking shit. And I kept longboarding. But did I ever forget that? It's like, no, I never forgot going down that hill. And I made sure to never go down that hill again. And that's because it's a good thing to never forget, right? Like this moment has taught me so many fucking lessons where I'm gonna make sure nothing like that happens again.
Yeah, but when David fell off, did he smash his face open on the street and have to get surgery for it? No, I don't fucking think so. Like, oh my god. Get your tinfoil hats on and change your name to Mulder, because it's time for a conspiracy. Now, if you remember, in the beginning of the video, I said it took David 2 years to publicly address what happened with Jeff. Well, there might be some coincidental timing with my assertion, because his response video was released a few days before Casey Neistat released his David Dobrik documentary at South by Southwest, and judging by the reception that I'm seeing online, it's pretty fucking bad for David. The house that Dobrik built is slowly crumbling before our very eyes, and it's fucking beautiful. Now, putting everything aside, do you want to know what the worst part of this entire ordeal is? It's the fact that nothing is going to happen to David. He's still going to exist on YouTube and have a platform. He's still going to have a fan base. It doesn't matter if he made an apology video, because at the end of the day, there will still be an audience waiting to nakedly suck his dick like a Dyson vacuum cleaner. He's another person who has power and privilege that will get away with just being a massive douche nozzle because he can. And that's the main symptom of influenza. Zero accountability for one's actions. Who's gonna stop him? His fans? No. They're his biggest enablers. Are his close friends gonna stop him? Fuck no, they're just as bad, if not worse, than David. Then who's gonna be there to say, David, you fucked up, it's time to go? Honestly, what does David have to do in order to vanish from the internet? Does he have to kill one of his best friends during a live stream? Or does he have to, in the worst case, pretend a pregnant woman's a piñata and beat her stomach with a baseball bat until she has a miscarriage? What will it take? Daddy of 5 was condemned for beating and abusing his children and was hung from the internet gallows after his swift kangaroo court found him guilty. He tried to make a comeback, but then was swiftly kicked back out onto the street where that dirtbag belongs. Jenna Marbles was unrightfully chased off the internet 2 years ago for some decades-old video. When do you, the viewer, look at the sand and say, yeah, this is where I draw the line? Racism and bullying? Okay, we can forgive that because everyone has done something stupid like that in the past. We can forgive them. As long as they've learned and grown as a person, it's okay. Sexual assault? Well, it's bad, but at least he made a heartfelt apology video, so I guess it's okay. When do the viewers say enough? I demand better from my favorite content creators online. Jeff has to live with the fact that he almost died every single fucking day for as long as he lives, and David, the human piece of shit that he is, will forever see it as what?
Fucking really shitty accident.
Hey guys, this is the end of the video, and I want to personally thank you for spending your fleeting mortality and precious time with me. So if you have anyone who you believe is worthy of a commentary video, just leave a comment down below saying, hey, I found this person online, I think they're a piece of shit, or their content's bad. Here's a link, or here's their name. So thank you for choosing to spend some time with me, and until the next video, I will see you later.